Welcome to a brief discussion of the new PeopleSoft upgrade for faculty. I think you will find that this new system is helpful and useful. If you would log on to Campus Connection as you usually do, you would come to this screen. As a faculty member, you click on Self-Service, and that takes you to all the service that you would need to access as a faculty member. We'll be spending most of our time in the Faculty Center. That's where most of the information will be that you will need. You'll be able to view your advisees via the Faculty Center, and we'll take a look at course details via the Faculty Center as well. So let's begin at the Faculty Center. This is the page that comes up as you click on Faculty Center. You'll find your name at the top of the page. You'll also then find that there's an exam schedule. This is at the discretion of each institution in the North Dakota University system that they may eventually place your exam schedules at the bottom of each of your classes. That is currently not being implemented. You may view your advisees, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, and you can view your personal data summary, which we can talk about in a few minutes. At the top, we are in the Faculty Center. You may search for classes if you wish. If you have a student that is at North Dakota State University looking for a course in this fall of 2008, in, say, for example, the accounting program, you're looking for an open class, you can do a search and find that there are, in fact, accounting courses open in the fall of 2008 that your student can still enroll in. You may also take a look at courses that may be offered at all of the North Dakota University systems. So if a student is transferring or is taking a class over the summer at a different institution, you can find those classes as well. In addition, across the top, you'll find that you can browse the course catalogs for any of the institutions in the NDUS system. But let's go back to Faculty Center because that's where we'll be spending the rest of our time. You'll see then on this line that you're able to change terms and take a look at course schedules for any term that you wish. At the moment, it is open to courses in spring 2008. But you can change the terms all the way up until fall 2007. So that you can take a look at a particularly unique feature, I'm going to take us to fall 2008 for now. This is my course schedule for 2008, the students that you have in your particular class. You'll notice that the enrollment capacity of this class is 35, and 35 are indeed enrolled in the class. The course numbers listed above, the times of the class, where it meets, the instructor, and the general time period. What I like about this feature is that not only do you see the students that are enrolled in your class, you can check and see who has dropped the class, and more specifically, who might be waiting on the wait list for that class. In this case, we can see that Danger Will Robinson would like to be in the class, but is on a waiting list. That person is listed in position number 1, and if you have more students that sign up later on, it would indicate when the position at which they had signed up on your waiting list. If you'd like to correspond with Danger Will Robinson specifically, you could click on this icon. You see it could send an email to Will Robinson. But maybe I'd like a copy of that email, so I'm going to click the Notify box. And I'm going to click on Notify Selected Students, and sure enough, that email will come to me, and it will also go to Danger Will Robinson. I can write the text of the message here and send the notification to Will. If I have an entire list of students that I want to notify, I can notify selected students, and again, I'll receive a copy of that email, as will they. And I can also print out a copy of that student link as well. So now that we've taken a look at the waiting list for fall 2008. I'm going back to spring 2008 and show you another couple of interesting things about this program. I'm going to a particular list I selected students. I can notify listed students, and I can print out the grade roster. Each of those students is listed by name. Eventually there may be photographs of those students that is currently not being implemented. Then if I'd like to enter those grades of those students, I may do so. You'll notice that for these students, the grades currently are not listed, but there's a drop-down menu now where I can put the grades of the students. The student that dropped has already been withdrawn, so I don't have to worry about that grade. As before, that you're able to have the approval status as not reviewed, ready for review, or approved. And you may approve of finally those grades, print them out, and save that, and the grades will go to the registrar. So now that we've taken a look at your courses, your course lists, and how to input grades, let's take a look at this icon entitled View My Advisees. When you do that, you will receive a list of all the advisees that you have, and in every situation where student records comes up, there will be a FERPA statement that will remind you of those FERPA guidelines. Let's take a look at these students. First of all, I can email this student. I can notify particular students. I can notify all my advisees and get copies of those notifications. But let's take a look at A Student 4. We're going to look at the student details of those students since we probably know a lot about Bon Bon Carter and David Bowie. We're going to look at A Student 4 and take a look at the page that comes open. And this is a page that will come open to them when they open up their Campus Connection. It will look exactly the same schedule. This person is taking a lot of botany. If you'd like to take a look at their weekly schedule, you might be able to see if there's a time you could squeeze an appointment in with that particular student. Or you can just look at their student as is listed. The shopping cart will allow that student to look for courses that that student needs to take, and it will be the way that that student ultimately will enroll in those courses. My planner is a list of courses that in some institutions in the NDSU system will pull up the courses that that student needs to take as requirements. In other institutions, those courses under my planner may have to be manually placed in my planner. But at either rate, the student and you, the advisor, will know courses upcoming that that student will need to consider taking. Now, as we return back to that original student's page, we'll find some other aspects of this page that will be particularly helpful. Under this small icon, Other Academics, you may take a look at the academic requirements for that student, for prerequisites for their major. You might be very interested in looking at their course history. In this case, this student has taken quite a number of courses, and as you look at the statistics on the side, you'll be able to tell which courses have been transferred, which courses have been taken, and which courses are in progress. It will give you, bit by bit, all of the courses that this student has taken. That information might be very helpful to you as a student plans for graduation, or if you wish, you may look at the same list by looking at an unofficial transcript, or by looking at that later on in this page. If you would like some particular demographic information, you may click on that icon. You may click on emergency contact information. You can get some initial information about their home address, home and telephone number, and notice that your name as advisor is listed here along with your telephone number. And other details about you as an advisor will be listed here as well. In a minute, I'll show you how to get that information. Back to the top of this page, you can find some, if you click on general information about that student. For example, there's a financial aid suspension beginning in fall 2007. They've signed a FERPA release. You can look at student groups that they belong to, personal data about that student, national identification number, names that they prefer to be called. So if somebody is named Charles and they'd rather be called Chip, then that might be listed here. You can see different addresses for this student, home, permanent, and where their parents live, telephone numbers for all of those students, and different email addresses that that student might be accessible. You'll notice that they've checked the preferred column so that you know where they prefer to be contacted. And now we're into a personal search where we can search for any sort of student that you might want to take a look at. Let's go back to viewing my advisees, though, and back to a student. There also, in addition to general information, you may look at the credits that have transferred for that particular student information. For example, this student was an instrumental music education student, began in fall 2002, graduated in spring 2008, and gives you an idea term by term what classes this student took. Ultimately, you'll notice that this student has taken 178 hours and 19 hours were in progress with a 3.382 GPA. Back to the Faculty Center again. We've taken a look at advisees. Now let's take a look at the personal data summary. I'll talk more specifically about personal information in a moment because that's one area you may really want to turn your attention to. However, you might want additional information for access to the students. For example, languages that you're proficient in, licenses and certificates that you have, memberships to professional associations, your work experience, your list of publications, extracurricular activities that you participate in, as well as honors and awards. Those are all optional areas that you may fill in if you wish. But now let's take a look at names. As with the student, you may indicate your legal name. Actually, I'm Angela Lockhart, but I prefer Angel since I am such an angel. That can be listed there. Under addresses, you can see that my home mailing, billing, and permanent address are all in New York City, despite my NBUS salary. You can take a look at telephone numbers, and you'll notice that I check the preferred check mark on the work number, because under email addresses, you can see that I have a couple email addresses, and again, my preferred email address is listed. If you wish, you can add internet addresses that are important to you. You may put your emergency contact information here, as the student does. And then there are demographics that are listed here that are very similar to what the student's demographics are. So as you page through, you can get the same sort of information up on Campus Connection that the students have. So in the last few minutes, we've taken a look at the Faculty Center, where you've taken a look at your class rosters from this semester and the future semesters and past semesters, how to enter grades. You've looked at how you access advisory information. You've talked about and edited your personal data. You know how to do a class search, and you know how to browse any course catalog. And that covers the faculty information for the new PeopleSoft software. Good luck in working with it.